Nothing quite compares to Grandma's cooking, filled with love, time-honored recipes, and flavors that bring back a flood of memories. Grandmas are known for their tried-and-true dishes, made from scratch with simple ingredients and a whole lot of love. Here's a look at the top 10 recipes that Grandmas always made from scratch. 1. Chicken pot pie. This hearty dish, with a flaky crust and a creamy chicken filling, was a staple at Grandma's house. Filled with fresh veggies, chunks of tender chicken, and a flavorful homemade gravy, her pot pie was comfort food at its finest. It took time and patience, but the result was always worth it. 2. Apple pie. Grandma's apple pie was unmatched, with its perfectly spiced filling and golden, buttery crust. Using fresh apples, cinnamon, and a pinch of nutmeg, she'd make every slice a memory to savor. The smell of it baking filled the whole house with warmth and anticipation. 3. Beef stew. On chilly days, Grandma's homemade beef stew was the ultimate comfort. With chunks of tender beef, carrots, potatoes, and a broth simmered to perfection, her stew warmed us from the inside out. Every spoonful was packed with rich flavors that only hours of slow cooking could create. 4. Biscuits and gravy. Grandma's biscuits and gravy made breakfast feel like a special occasion. Her fluffy, buttery biscuits paired with a thick, savory gravy filled with sausage or bacon bits were the ultimate start to any day. There was no store-bought dough or canned gravy here. Everything was made from scratch. 5. Spaghetti sauce. From her secret blend of spices to perfectly ripened tomatoes, Grandma's spaghetti sauce was always a labor of love. Simmered for hours with garlic, herbs, and sometimes a splash of red wine, it was a flavorful masterpiece that paired perfectly with her homemade meatballs. 6. Chicken and dumplings. Chicken and dumplings was a classic dish that Grandma made with pure comfort in mind. The tender pieces of chicken, soft dumplings, and a thick, creamy broth created the kind of meal you'd wish for on a rainy day. She always had a special touch with the dumplings, making them light and fluffy every time. 7. Homemade bread. The smell of fresh bread wafting from Grandma's kitchen was pure magic. Kneading dough by hand, allowing it to rise, and baking it to perfection, she made bread that was fluffy inside with a golden crust outside. Served warm with a pat of butter, it was a treat that store-bought bread could never match. 8. Pecan pie. Grandma's pecan pie was rich, gooey, and sweet, with a perfectly caramelized filling and a golden, flaky crust. Made with fresh pecans, butter, sugar, and just the right amount of vanilla, every slice was a decadent treat. It was a must-have for family gatherings and holidays. 9. Fried chicken. Her fried chicken was crisp on the outside, juicy on the inside, and full of flavor. She knew just the right amount of seasoning, and her method of frying produced a perfect golden brown crust. No fast food chain could compare to Grandma's fried chicken, made from scratch with care. 10. Macaroni and cheese. Grandma's mac and cheese was the epitome of comfort food. With a creamy cheese sauce made from scratch and baked to perfection with a golden breadcrumb topping, it was a family favorite. Her version was far from the boxed stuff, with layers of melted cheese and a rich, satisfying flavor. Grandma's recipes weren't just about the food, they were about gathering family around the table, sharing stories, and creating memories. Her scratch-made dishes brought love and warmth, and each recipe felt like a gift passed down through generations.